These are actual scenes from the Libyan front, scenes from the start of our offensive against Rommel and his Axis concentrations, who boasted they'd reach Suez by Christmas. When the guns opened up and the tanks went forward, Movietone cameramen were there to record the battle. Watching this film, you'll see they were certainly right on the spot. The tanks go forward. Their objective to seek out and destroy every German and Italian tank in Africa. If they can accomplish that, the rest follows easily. Our tanks were soon locked in battle with the German panzer divisions. Full air support was given by the Royal Air Force, and for once the Germans found themselves up against superiority in numbers. Many heroic deeds were done. That Beaufighter flew back 400 miles with 4 feet of its wing torn away. And continually from our forward landing grounds, bombers and fighters were taking off to smash the Germans from the sky. Both sides had big formations in the air, but the RAF was on top. The much-boosted German and Italian planes completely failed to hamper the British advance. The Axis lost plane after plane. There's one crashing way over there with the pilot who bailed out. Meanwhile, the motorized infantry advanced. This part of the film was shot during the first great battle of Sidi Rezegh, when we stormed the enemy positions. Enemy bombs and enemy shells fell very close. Rommel has been taken by surprise and trapped, but he fights back with all that resource and ferocity which we know the German army possesses. Sidi Rezegh was captured together with numbers of the enemy. These Italians had only one fear, that they might be overlooked when the British rounded up prisoners. Does you good to see these gents with their hands up, doesn't it? And how about the Hun? It's better still to see him making the old familiar sign of camarade. Our tanks continued the advance. Enemy tanks, wrecked and going up in smoke, like Hitler's hopes of taking Suez before Christmas, provided an opportunity to examine some of the destruction wrought by our boys. Big German tanks that will fight no more, and that goes for their crews too. And here's one of the famous 8-wheeled armored cars that once did good work for the Germans on Libyan battlefields. In service, it can be driven from either end. On this occasion, it's taken away by a British tank transporter for further examination. An Italian tank, complete with Italians. You can have it, the tank. Me sell it the ice cream. Of course, a feature of these great tank battles is that although a vehicle may be knocked out in battle, it can frequently be repaired on the spot. And the lull between clashes is often a race between British and enemy technicians. Our mechanics have done a wonderful job. And tank crews need rest, however great their courage and endurance. As the Libyan offensive developed, more and more prisoners came in. And prisoners are one of the best indications of how the campaign is going. Germans of the Africa Corps in large numbers. They look sullen, but even in adversity they look like soldiers, and that's what the world's up against. The German militaristic spirit that breeds this type of gangster who revels in his job. While our forces attacking from the east had pushed the Germans back towards the coast, a big push was also being made not only to cut them off, but to link up with the men from Tobruk. And in the first week's fighting, our tanks did make contact in the night near El Douda. Here's one meeting a few hours later which tells its own story. The Battle of Libya continues, and the German invincibles are being destroyed, machines and men. These, the lucky ones, survive only to witness the coming destruction of Germany and Germany's power to fight.